Something feels wrong about my conclusion on this video, and it's bad for everyone. When the Pico 4 was released, I was excited. A brand new VR headset that should compete and beat the Quest 2. It's better in almost every way. It's lighter, has better lenses, it's more comfortable, it has a better weight distribution, and a better build quality. But in this video, I'm going to explain why I don't want this better headset. But first, let me briefly explain what's great about the Pico 4 before I stick the knife in. I mean, this sort of feels like a bad breakup. Look, you're great. You make me laugh. I know we had a great time. It's not you, it's me. There's someone else, isn't there? No. Hey, honey, you managed to ditch that loser? Oh, you're back with that. What, you think you're just sticking a new head strap on and all your issues are fixed? We just know each other better, don't we?
I just know everything about you. All of your personal details. Your mother's maiden name. And what you had yesterday for lunch. And how was that lemon tart? Fancy getting the chocolate one next time? It's on offer. 2 for 1.
So the Pico is great in a few ways, and I have a list of reasons why you should get this over the Quest 2. And that is PC VR. Well, that's the list, yeah, just PC VR. Look, the headset is nicer. The pancake lenses are clearer. The resolution is higher. The processor, although the same as the Quest 2, is actually clocked higher than what the Quest 2 is clocked at, so you have more power. And when you use this for something like PC VR, where you have all the same titles as the Quest 2, then yes, this is a clear winner. But it's marketed as a standalone headset. And for myself and many people that are going to buy this thing, they're buying it as a standalone headset. And a lot of the YouTubers that are very sort of VR focused, they tend to have very expensive gaming PCs and elaborate VR setups. And that just isn't the case for most people getting into VR. And this, unfortunately, is where the Pico 4 is lacking in the real meat of it. The problem is, it's newer, and the content just isn't there yet. Yes, the Pico is slightly better, but you can't play the same as good games as you can on the Quest 2. The few games I tried were okay, but they're nothing on the most popular titles on the Quest. And it's not like it can't be done. Sony's PlayStation VR 2, which is going to be coming out at the end of February, that's coming out with some proper VR titles like Beat Saber, and some PlayStation exclusive games like Horizon Call of the Mountain. I guess the Pico 4 suffers from being behind the pack. I mean, when the Quest 2 launched, the titles were lacking. The software was not the best and it needed updating. But the benefit they had is that there was no competition. They had the market. So if you wanted to get one of these headsets, then you could have just jumped in. And also, it was cheap. It was only $299 to get one of these headsets at the time. They have since bumped up the price, but the Pico 4 now is more expensive than what the Quest 2 was when it first came out and was lacking the content and the features. The problem is, Pico is now suffering because Meta owns the market and had a head start with all of these developers. And this is also made worse because Pico hasn't entered the US market with their Pico 4. So they're missing out on a huge chunk of people that could be going and getting this headset, and a huge chunk of developers that aren't going to touch the Pico 4 because they know their market is in the US. I'm sure they have perfectly good reasons for not choosing to use this in the US, but if you're a developer, what are you going to prioritize? Sorting out the version for the Quest 2 or sorting out the version for the Pico 4, knowing that the Quest 2 is going to have a much bigger audience? And this isn't just baseless claims, this is happening. On games like Demio, the Pico 4 version is multiple versions behind the Quest version. The Quest version has games that are being updated more regularly and more frequently than the Pico 4. And the next issue is things like accessories. Now granted, the Quest 2 in terms of design is lacking behind the Pico 4, but there are a bunch of accessories you can get third-party wise that do come at a cost, but can bring the Quest up to scratch. Things like the head strap. Now the Pico 4 is more comfortable and it has a better head strap, but if you want to get different types of wrist straps for the controller and stuff like that, then you just can't find them as easily as you can find various different versions for the Quest. In fact, I've done a video on some random Quest accessories, so check that out if you want. after this video. Now, this isn't to say that the Pico 4 is a lost cause. It's a very, very good standalone headset. And for some people, the performance and technical advantages and things like features like full color pass-through and stuff like that, that might sell it for you. And the longer this thing is on the market, the more content that you are going to have. It's not going to be this way forever, and eventually it will get closer to catching up with the Quest. Now, as I already have a Quest 2, I will not be keeping the Pico 4. I mean, firstly, I have too many games on my Meta account that I can't play on the Pico 4. And I'm not going to be just throwing them into the abyss. I have got a better head strap and improved that aspect of the Quest as well. So I mean, ultimately, it would be crazy for me to switch. I'm not a PC VR user, so that's a big factor in if you're going to keep a Pico 4 or not. But if you are looking to buy today and you want to get the most out of this today, then the game library and the software of the Quest 2 is going to massively outperform the Pico 4, despite the fact that the Pico 4 is actually the better option. And who knows, when the Quest 3 eventually comes out, you're going to hopefully be able to take all of your Quest 2 games onto that and hopefully also have a better headset. So yeah, the Quest Killer wasn't actually that deadly just yet. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Whoop!